Hey everyone, as most of you probably know, we just got a new patch pretty much out of nowhere. And while it didn't really have any character changes, it did bring something quite unexpected. A brand new stage in the form of smol battlefield. While it came totally out of nowhere, it's certainly a welcome addition. So since I've been known for talking about stages in the past, let's have a look at it. You can now play on smol battlefield not only locally, but also online in random matchmaking, which I have to say is really nice. Being able to play on a stage that is not just Final Destination or Battlefield is very refreshing. Granted, it doesn't really change much about the online being bad and needlessly convoluted, but I guess that's a topic for another time. Now, the stage itself is, not surprisingly enough, a variant of Battlefield. But instead of having 3 platforms in the center, it only has 2, very similar to Pokemon Stadium. As you can see here is a visualization of the stage comparing smol battlefield to regular battlefield. These were created by Ruben, who I highly recommend following on Twitter, since he's always on top of things like this when it comes out. Links in the description as usual. As you can see, the only real changes is that the 2 side platforms are slightly closer to each other. But more interestingly, the ceiling is notably lower, being more similar to most other legal stages. When comparing it to Pokemon Stadium, you'll see that it's actually a bit more distinct than at first glance. The platforms are slightly lower than on Battlefield, but not by too much. The side blast stones are also slimmer than normal Pokemon Stadium. The main ground area also does not reach as far as Pokemon Stadium, making the stage a bit smaller overall. As for its legality, there's obviously nothing wrong with it. The only strike against it really is that it's very similar to Pokemon Stadium. Despite the small differences, for a lot of characters it would really act a lot like just a second Pokemon Stadium. If a character does really well on Stadium, it will probably do really well on this stage as well, which if both of them were to be legal at the same time, could cause some problems given the current rule set only having a few bans. Granted, there is already a fair amount of currently legal stages that are very similar to each other, like Battlefield in Yoshi Story and Final Destination in Town and City, so having another slightly distinct stage wouldn't be so far out of the question, I suppose. There's no doubt that the stage could be legal, and since pretty much everyone seems to really like Pokemon Stadium, myself included, I don't think I would mind it myself, but we'll see how things turn out. Briefly before we end, I just want to touch on the idea of this stage just now existing, the implications of which are so huge I could probably speculate on it for hours. From this, it's very clear that Nintendo not only understands what stages competitive Smash players are looking for, but is also willing to make them pretty much exclusively to appease us. It also just shows us that Nintendo is willing to just throw us a bone every once in a while. I doubt this is going to be just a one-time thing. I really think this could mean more competitive play-targeted stages in the future, which the thought of makes me very optimistic. Now, if you'll allow me to put on my tinfoil hat here, I have a bit of a theory. In the new patch, the stage lineup was actually changed a little bit. They added these random stage legs things where you can get a random Battlefield or Final Destination version. And there's now a final row on the bottom. Now, if you count for the next 5 DLC stages that will come out, it will look something like this, which leaves 3 slots before the whole canvas is filled out. So, I suspect we're getting 3 more non-DLC stages in patches like this in the future, since if we do, it would complete the whole thing and it will look pretty nice. Now that could just be the OCD in the back of my mind talking, but I do feel like it adds up. It would be a little strange to flirt with the idea of adding more basic stages and then just doing it once. I could obviously be totally wrong, but I would not be surprised if it happened. Now that the cat is out of the bag, so to say, who knows what will happen. And it does seem like Nintendo is seriously trying to listen to feedback and improve the game, and I think that is great. So, in total, I honestly think this is my favorite patch ever, honestly. Not just for what it adds, but also what it might mean for the future of the game. In the patch notes, they also mentioned that they're looking to try to improve the online, which how that turns out I guess we'll have to wait and see. But for the moment, it's looking bright for the future, and I hope they keep it up. Anyways, that's about all I had to say about the patch. This wasn't quite a patch report, but more so a stage review. I'm still working on the next project, which is coming along a bit slowly, though it shouldn't take too much time before it's finished. So, until then, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.